The following audio is from the archive of Rhett Bartlett. This piece of audio comes from a cassette tape of Magic 693's pre-match and first quarter broadcast of round 22, 1995, Essendon versus Carlton. The broadcast team was headed by my father Kevin, Stephen Quartermain, Sam Kekovich, Tony Shaw, and then there's also appearances by Ricky Nixon. Around the grounds is Craig Hutchison, Phil Pennell, and also Barry Round. Enjoy.
See the incident either, like there was no reason.
They did, and what
and the man going off on a stretch.
What did their evidence say?
Ricky, I think that you're just prejudiced by your association with Gary in this situation.
Well,
there's no doubt.
You're entitled to your opinion.
That's
Tony.
right. That's what I'm having, my opinion.
Well, you are, and as I said, I've got mine, and mine's totally different to yours.
What'd you ring up for, Ricky, by the way?
I rang up to report the weather's fine in Brisbane, and just to wish Tony Shaw all the best, and hope you had a good call today.
Did you wake up in the same motel as you booked into, or?
Well, Matty just got home after last night.
See you later. Don't waste our time. We've got a big game in our hands here. Pack your bags. I'll see you there tonight.
Ricky, look forward to a great call tonight, Rick.
See you later.
Ricky
all the best, Rick.
He's making his way across there to Adelaide. We've got our carryover champion, Ray, waiting on the line. If you want to be a contestant, and they've got the big chance now of winning the dinner for two, Frank DiMartina's, Kevin Bartlett's book of footy, name a game, footy video, and the Australian Sporting Legends plaque, 97 69 69 30, 97 69 69 30 if you want to be a contestant.
Well, KB, I just want to know what the rest of the commentators here think about this issue about going to court if it does.
No, I agree with you. I think it's silly going to court. I don't think it's necessary. I think in this case with Gary Ablett that Gary is out for at least 1 week with a hamstring. Yep. I think Geelong have to cop it on the chin with the fact that he may have missed their first final. I think if we start getting players going to court, we saw it happen a few years ago with Barry Mitchell. Last year with Footscray, there was an injunction put in at one stage, and I don't think it's good for the game, just without too much legal intervention. And I think under these circumstances, Geelong and the league and people can get together and maybe try and work these sorts of things out. But I think going to the court, it's going to cost us a lot of money. I don't think in this case there's much to gain. There's not going to be any change in the Brownlow medal. For Gary to win the Brownlow medal, the league's not going to change that part of it as well. So I think at this stage you cop it on the chin, and if you think any ill has been, try and work it out, I think, with the AFL.
And if someone shoots somebody, you don't actually have to see them shoot them to make it not be right. In other words, like Ricky was saying, I don't think that's an argument that it wasn't on tape and that no one saw the incident. And
Tony Shaw, of course, is also... he's on counsel for O.J. Simpson at the moment, and he's helping out with that case over there by correspondence and fax.
Become a full book on the legalities, hasn't he, sure?
Okay, let's go to our Magic 693 18 questions, and Marty's back on the line. Ray, I should say, is back on the line. Hi, Ray.
How are you?
Good. Well, here we go. We've got a full board of contestants there. You need 3 more questions to take the lot. Question 16, name the player who produced photos of the Gary Ablett at the Gary Ablett Tribunal hearing during the week.
Paul Couch.
Paul Couch is correct. Question 17. Players wearing which jumper number have kicked the greatest number of goals in AFL football? And what I mean by that question is, what number carried by players in the history of the game have kicked the most number of goals? That's the aggregate total in AFL football.
Oh, gee.
So what number, Guernsey, has kicked the greatest number of goals in the game?
Any hints, mate?
Between 1 and 10.
1 and 10. 6. Guess.
That is a magnificent guess. That is a magnificent guess, because guys carrying number 6 are like Peter McKenna.
That's the only reason I picked 6, because I reckon he was the best full forward I'd seen.
Well, McKenna, Dugdale, guys like Moncrief, Fanning, Bissett, Briders, all kicked over 250 goals in a career. So number 6 is the best Guernsey number as far as kicking goals in AFL footy. Well, number 18, question 18, you get this, and we haven't even got to the challenges here, Ray. Bruce Dewar wore 2 numbers during his great career with Carlton. What were they?
39 and 11.
Sorry, we've got to gong you there.
Okay.
Gayleen is next on Magic 693. Hi, Gayleen.
Hi, Collingwood.
You're back for Collingwood?
Yeah.
Okay, what 2 numbers did Bruce Dewar wear at Carlton?
25 and 11.
No, I'm sorry, we'll have to gong you there. Charlie is next. Hi, Charlie.
How you going?
Who do you follow?
Oh, the Pies, mate.
The Pies. Well, you could win the lot if you can tell us what 2 numbers Bruce Dewar wore at Carlton.
Punt, 11 and 44.
No, 11 is correct. 44 is wrong. David, hi, David.
Yeah, number 50 and 11.
No, it wasn't number 50. We're sorry. No, it wasn't. It wasn't a high number at all. Nathan, you're next on Magic. Hi, Nathan.
Hello.
What 2 numbers did Bruce Dool wear?
Did I get any hints?
No, because you're going for the lot here.
Okay. 30 and 11?
No, it's not 30 and 11. Eric, you're next on Magic 693. Hi, Eric.
Yeah, g'day, mate. 29 and 11.
No, it wasn't 29 and 11. My favourite number, but it wasn't that. Okay, Jason, you're next on Magic. The great Bruce Dool wore 2 numbers at Carlton. One was number 11. What was the other?
Number 1?
No, it was not number 1. No, we'll have to gong you there as well. Terry, you're next on Magic 693. Who do you follow? Hello, Terry. We seem to not have Terry on the line there. Are you there, Terry?
Yeah.
Okay. You have to turn down your radio because you'll get delay there.
Yep.
2 numbers Bruce Dool wore during his great career at Carlton.
47 and 11.
No, number 11 is correct, but not 47. Okay, I'll give you a clue. It's between 1 and 10. Jack, what 2 numbers did Bruce Dool wear? Number 11 was 1. What was the other number?
Oh, good day, Bart. I'll say number 8.
No, it was not number 8.
Thank you, mate.
No, we'll have to gong you there. Okay. Eiley is next. Hi, Eiley. Ali, how are you, Ali?
Oh, not bad.
Now, Ali, this is a question about the great Bruce Dool. He wore number 11 at Carlton, and what other number?
Number 3.
No, you were close, very close. It was not number 3. Matt, you're next. Hi, Matt.
Hi.
You could be the lucky person here. What other number did he wear other than number 11 at Carlton, Bruce Dool? Number 4 is correct. And the reason why he changed from number 4 was that he was so close to John Nichols, who got a lot of media attention, that he wanted a different number. So he moved to locker number 11. So well done there. Congratulations, Matt. You've won the 5 big prizes on the Magic 18. Stay on the line. You won the dinner for 2 at Frankie's, the Kevin Bartlett Book of Footy, the Name of Game Footy video, and of course the Australian Sporting Legends plaque. Okay, we'll take a break on Magic 693 and then we'll be back. Carlton and the Bombers are out on the ground here at the MCG.
I'm frustrated. I'm annoyed. We've stopped supplying certain shops. We've taken legal action in some instances.
Why is Villy so upset?
People out there are trying to pretend that they're making my product.
So, what have you done about it?
It's a simple thing. Turn the pie upside down or the pasty upside down. There's a distinctive V. It is V for Villies and V for nothing else.
Taste and see the Villy's difference at your local milk bar soon.
If it hasn't got a V, it ain't me.
Mitre 10 out of 10. At Mitre 10's Paint Shop, we'll help you with the right colour selection, the right product and the right preparation. Use our free tinting service and get the right tint every time. Our free Mitre plans can help you with ideas and tips for painting. For everything you need to know about painting your home, pick up Mitre plans 12 and 18. Come in and see us at Mitre 10 Paint Shop and get a 10 out of 10 finish every time.
Mitre 10 out of 10 every time.
Last year, Anderson's Furniture had a number of Moran Baxter sofa beds for just $1,795. Naturally, they were snapped up rather quickly. Fortunately, history does repeat. Anderson's have made a scoop purchase of 40 Moran Baxter sofa beds at just $1,795 each. But do be quick. Like last year, they won't last long. At Anderson's, the art of fine furniture at Blackburn, Moorabbin and Oakley.
The very best and most spectacular Saturday night entertainment is harness racing at Moonee Valley. Tonight is the start of the new harness racing year and also BBS Marketing Night. Yoronga Songbird, winner of last week's Youthful Stakes as a 2-year-old, returns as a 3-year-old in the NEC BBS 3-year-old pace. If you can't be there, tune into Channel 31's live coverage of harness racing from around Australia. It's free TV on 31. Harness racing at Moonee Valley tonight, where everybody loves Saturday night.
No magic for mobile phones. We are the specialists. When your business is on the line, Nomad.
For the right advice about the right phone at the right price, call Nomad and connect to Telstra MobileNet on 132353. 132353.
Nomad for mobile phones. Nomad.
This quarter of Football Magic is proudly presented by Dan Murphy, the best range of liquor at Melbourne's cheapest prices.
Yes, welcome back to the Mitre 10 big game on Magic 693. The big game today between Carlton and Essendon. A tremendous crowd in attendance here at the MCG. Let's quickly go around the grounds. First of all, let's go out to Western Oval because Barry Round's out there today. Hi, Bazza.
G'day, KB. How are you?
Very good, and some big news out at the Western Oval?
Yes, I was just ringing through to Kate Arnett in our newsroom before. They're going to rename the Western Oval the E.J. Whitten Oval, and they've actually started up a E.J. Whitten Foundation, and some great things to come out of that, so fantastic. It's just yet another tribute to the fantastic man. But you've seen a couple of great banners here today, Kev. Naturally, Spud Frawley, his last game, and the St Kilda players formed a guard of honour, and just a magnificent banner that he ran through with his, I think it must have been his little daughter. And there's also a good one for Liberatore for his 150th, and he just left a dint in it with the top of his head. He nearly ran under it like a limbo style. Gee, it was funny. But a bit of a danger game for Footscray today, because even though they're sitting comfortably in 7th place, it's one of those things where guys probably might not want to get injured to miss playing in the finals next week, and then there's the other side of the coin where they want to impress and maintain their good form. Victory down at is, it's one thing to attain a bit of form in footy, but you've got to hold it, and then you start sort of being hesitant, and it gets right into your game, and you lose confidence. But I think the Bulldogs can win. The home ground advantage, and St Kilda with Robert Harvey and Nicky Winmar and Stewie Lowe, they've got their share of good players, but they haven't got anybody in the centre to combat Big Scotty Wind, and I think that's where the Bulldogs will win. Chrissy Grant and Leon Cameron and these guys, I think they'll bring home the bacon, and this is the first game that the Bulldogs have played at the Western Oval, the Whitten Oval, since Teddy passed on, so they'll be trying to do it for him today, I'm sure. Will it be called the E.J. Whitten Oval from this day on, or is it happening next year? From this day? I think from this day on, Kev, the council's getting involved, and they've got the bronze statue to be built and all this sort of thing, a Hall of Fame, and some great things will come out of this, and rightly so. I think it's a magnificent gesture by the club and the football world. We'll catch up with Roundy right throughout the day, that big game out at the Western Oval between Footscray and St Kilda. Let's go out to Waverley. Hawthorn's playing Geelong. Here's Craig Hutchison.
Yeah, it's beautiful conditions out here for football, Kevin. It's a magnificent surface, and there's still a bit of room for people who want to come out who didn't get into the MCG today. It should be a very tight game. Geelong could finish as low as 4th if they lose today. And it's a real danger game for them with Ablett and Brownless out at the side. Second spot very important for them. It's been a long time since Hawthorn's lost 7 in a row. I think Geelong can win today, but I think it'll be a real battle out here at Waverley. And of course they'll have to make that decision whether they'll have a shootout tomorrow if in fact they finish on level terms on points and also percentage with the Bombers. Yeah, I don't think that's likely. I think it'd be a long shot at this stage, wouldn't it?
Just KB, a couple of bets on National Sportsbook. A big betting plunge on the Hawks over the last 2 days. They've been backed into something like 11-8. And also some person yesterday, after Gary Ablett was rubbed out, had 36,000 to 6,000 on Geelong to win the flag. Geelong haven't played out here this year. I think that's going to be a problem for them, especially with not many goal kickers out here for them.
Okay, we'll catch up with Craig right throughout the day. Let's go to Phil Pennell because North Melbourne's playing Fitzroy. Who are you tipping, Phil?
Oh, I think I'd have to tip North Melbourne, KB. I can't see Fitzroy getting within 5 goals to North Melbourne today. May even be a similar situation to the reserves where North Melbourne won by 126 points. So I can't see Fitzroy overcoming the likes of Carey particularly, and then you've got Kernan, and you go straight down the goal line, and it reads like a who's who of football.
Well, Carey's one of the favourites for the Brownlow medal, so he might have a chance of picking up 3 votes in round 22.
Yes, I think he will. He'll obviously cop Fitzroy's best defender, but I don't see, given the opportunity he's going to get, that defender's going to have much of a chance. I'm looking forward to a good game from him today.
Okay, we'll catch up with Phil right throughout the day. Also, North playing Fitzroy. Let's go down to ground level because the count's down there. Here's Paul Callery for Nomad.
Okay, we'll have to be quick because the coin has been tossed and the Bombers are kicking towards the Richmond end, the Blues are kicking towards the big scoreboard. Look, there's a wind that's changed from a northeasterly, now it's going southwesterly, so I believe that has changed around 180 degrees. The sky is cloudy, but looks for beautiful conditions out here. Certainly I was at Mount Hotham during the week. Victoria's a great place, snow in the mountains, and perfect day down here. On the banner for the Blues, it said, continuing our drive to 20 wins this season, a league record, tremendous performance. And congratulations on the Bombers banner run through today for Dustin Fletcher, their number 31, 50 classy games at the age of 20 years. Last round 7, MCG, Carlton 10-15, 75 to 9-13, 67 the Bombers. This is a historical 200th game, KB. They're about to bounce the ball. Dibbers put a tackle on me. Ball carrying, but no man's communication.
Yes, count well here today. In the reserves, the Bombers 19-11-125, Blues 13-14-92. Listen to the roar down here. And here's, what do you got there,
well, Gary O'Donnell's lined up outside the boundary line in the forward pocket.
Well, quite an amazing scene there for Gary O'Donnell. Umpires today, Darren Goldsmith, Greg Scroop, Grant Vernon. So we've got, let's have a look, down in the goal square, Paul Salmon down there, being picked up by Michael Sexton. At the other end of the ground, we've got Brad Pearce in the goal square being picked up by Cummings. So the bounce of the ball, and the big game is underway at the MCG between the Blues and the Bombers. Who can get the first kick out of the centre square? Peter Dean pushes the ball forward. Chance here, taken and kicked off the ground there by Mackay. Goes towards the half-back flank for Carlton all over. And we've got a boundary throw in, 50 metres out from the Bombers' goal.
Yeah, certainly a battle of tactics, Kevin. Bond, interestingly enough, picking up Wanganeen in the fence, and that's a good ploy there. Very agile and very quick.
So Madden goes up, wins the tap, thumps the ball 15 metres further around, picked up by Denham with quick hands, gives it back to Fletcher. So he kicks back into the forward pocket, running with the flow of the ball was the Fish. But he cannons over the line, and once more we've got a boundary throw in on 50.
And the respective benches, Cransburg, Danaher and Doolan for Essendon, whilst Hogg, Manton and
Lynn.
Also Lynn on interchange.
So once more we see Madden wins the tap of the foot of the pack, taken here by Hurd, gets the ball back to O'Donnell, slaps the ball back. Here's a chance to Calthorpe, kicks the ball into the forward pockets, one for the High Flyers, and he's got it. Big Somerville went straight up over the top of him, and he's marked in the square. And the big men of Essendon, Alessio, Somerville and Salmon, will they play a role today?
Well, you would think so, because they had very little impact when they were decimated by Brisbane last weekend. Alessio, Salmon and Somerville had very little impact, but today here in the big open spaces, certainly Carlton probably don't match up as well as the Bears. Shorey, just looking at them, Sexton was caught out there.
Well, they're going to have a bit of a height difference here, and it's going to be a factor, I think, by the end of the game, Sam.
So Somerville moves in, and from point blank range, he has missed. So an unbelievable miss there by Peter Somerville. Here's Tony Shaw.
Well, you know, you're a senior player and you're kicking from 7 yards out. You just can't afford to miss those, especially in big games like this. You need to get off to a good start. But it's amazing you've got Alessio at centre back on Kernahan. You just think the mobility of Kernahan might be too good for Alessio, but strange move by Kevin Sheedy.
So Ange Christou brings the ball back into play, and here's Stephen Quartermain on Magic.
He's looking for Madden. He flies, can't take the mark at the fall. The ball is Bradley right in the centre of the G. He's tackled well by Hardwick. Gets the handball away to Clappe. Coming through as Williams kicks it into the full forward area. Pearce is caught behind Cummings. Pearce has got the footy. Snap it, goal! Across the face, through for one behind. So 1 point apiece on the Dan Murphy scoreboard. We've gone almost 3 minutes in the first quarter.
Well, surely Carlton obviously going for that record of 20 wins, but by the same token, it's a very depleted Essendon they're meeting today with the absence of the likes of Long and Simons, Masiti and Mercury. You would think that Carlton would have to win to glean any psychological advantage. They wouldn't want to lose today going into a final series against a side that's inflicted so much humiliation upon them.
Yeah, well, they've got Hannah and Brown out too, Carlton, so they're two good players, and the return of Brad Pearce should help them up forward.
Ball's kicked into the centre of the ground. Bradley fires out the handball to Clappe, gives it to Madden, back to Clappe. He's tackled by about 3 Essendon players. Now kicked off the ground by Koutafidis. Rice comes in. He's busted out of the way. And it's a free kick to the Bombers for too high. Went against Ratton, and getting up to take it is Barry Young. So Young for the Bombers, right in the middle of the G. Tries to sell the dummy, now he does. On the left boot, kicks the ball back to within 50. Hurd's in front of Silvani. Hurd overruns the ball. There's Young, fires out the handball. O'Donnell from 45 has a shot at goal. It's into the goal square across the face and through for one behind. So it's the Bombers 2 behinds, Carlton 1 behind. We've gone almost 4 minutes in the first quarter.
So sure, a couple of interesting matchups. Also Spalding being picked up by Harvey, and Thompson has the job on Rice, and Rice has become a very important player in that forward setup for Carlton.
Yeah, I think the lack of speed from Bomber Thompson could be a factor too later in this game.
So Sexton goes straight up the ground. He was looking for Madden at ground level, taken by Ratton, gives the ball back to Spalding. who's a long way down from centre half forward. Rockets the ball to Bradley in the square. Long spiral torpedo inside 50. Chance now for Carlton. Clapbay's there. Can't take control. Cummings with good hands gets the ball out. So we see the ball being brought away. Terrific play here as Michael Pryor kicks the ball out wide. So it's all Essendon at the moment, taken by Barry Young. Goes short. Kicked to a contest, so Mackay paddles the ball along in front. Great tackling also by young Matthew Lloyd. Chance now, Peter Dean, desperate play, knocks the ball further afield. A chance for Whitehead, getting there first and running the ball over the line was Dustin Fletcher.
Peter Somerville flew for a mark and the pack has landed very awkwardly on his knee. It's not good signs for Essendon. Somerville does not look very well and he's going to come off and the trainer has crossed his arms. So this could be a blow for Essendon for the final. Somerville's coming off.
So on the Dan Murphy scoreboard, 2 behinds plays 1 point. We've got the Bombers in front. The ball inside that centre square. Chance for Camporelli. Gives it across to Christo. Goes short, looking for Pearce. He waits for the bounce. He was held onto. No doubt there. That was holding the man. And Pearce will take the free kick for the Blues. Played for it too, Shorey. Yeah, it was good play. He just used his body well. And you'd have to say, KB, that Scott Cummings would be too slow for Brad Pearce, and they're giving him plenty of room, leaving the 50 or inside the 50 area free so he can run into it. But I think he'd be too slow. Well, he missed last week's big game against the West Coast Eagles. He's already kicked it behind. So he moves in. He's right on 50. He's a raking left foot kick. That's a magnificent goal to Brad Pearce. So the Blues are in front at the 6-minute mark of the first term. On the Dan Murphy scoreboard, Carlton 117, lead the Bombers 2 points. Here's slamming Sam Kekovich.
Well, when we talk of the current Carlton side and, you know, where the improvements come from previous years or last year in particular, the name Brad Pearce certainly springs to prominence. He's certainly given that Carlton forward line a lot more resilience and a little bit more polish and been a terrific goal kicker. And Bradley's been very good, Paul Kellery, in the opening minutes.
Yes, certainly he's had 4 possessions at this stage, Sam.
Ball bounced down back in the centre. Madden goes up virtually uncontested, gets the knockdown. Quick kick out of the pack by Bradley. It's at half forward for Carlton. Harvey gathers. Oh, he's met high. Umpire says play on. Now Denham's in there, kicked off the ground by Bradley. Didn't travel 10 metres. Taken there by Pryor. He's tackled handballs cleverly to Harvey. Kicks the ball luckily to Denham, right in the middle of the G. Kicks the ball now to half forward. Hurd on the second bite. Takes a courageous and a fantastic mark directly in front of goal. 45 out.
I bet you Harvey's happy the ball's up the other end. He's just been setting his tail twice. Been plummeted there.
So James Hurd's mark directly in front, 45 out. Somerville's off for Essendon with what appears to be a knee injury, and the signs weren't good. So let's hope for his sake and Essendon's sake that it's not serious. Alessio playing at centre half back on Kernahan. In comes Hurd. Great player for the Bombers. Kicked 46 goals so far this year. And now you can make it 47. That's a goal on the Dan Murphy scoreboard. Essendon 128, Carlton 117 as we go round the grounds. Craig Hutchison at Waverley.
We played 7 minutes, Geelong 1 straight 6, Hawthorn 2 behinds, Mansfield full forward for the Cats. Phil Adoptus over.
We've played 9 minutes and scores the level. North Melbourne 1 goal, Fitzroy 1 goal, and Mark Roberts has just been carried off on a stretcher. Over to Barry Round at the EJ Whitten Oval.
Yes, thanks, Phil. We've played 8 minutes into the first quarter. St Kilda off to a great start. 3-1-19, Footscray 1 point. Back to the boys at the big game at the MCG.
So the Bombers by a point on the Dan Murphy scoreboard. Taken by Camporelli, gives it across the rat and onto the left boot. Looking for Pearce in front. Got his hands the ball. Was he held? He's been paid the free kick. He's slamming Sam.
Oh, I didn't think there was a free kick there. I thought it was very soft. I thought he dropped the relatively easy mark. No, that's no free kick, that.
No, I agree with Sam. Then he called it a push in the back. It looked like he might have grabbed his jumper, but he didn't on the replay.
Well, look, the replay indicated clearly that he may have had his hand
on his back, but
shoulder.
Yeah, I agree, Sam. Very soft.
So Pearce moves in from 50 metres out. Once more, this magnificent left foot kick has split the centre. So Brad Pearce has kicked 2 goals. That was a lucky one. We've played 8.5 minutes into the opening term, and on the Dan Murphy scoreboard, the Blues 2-1-13, the Bombers 1-2-8. Let's go to the count, Paul Kellery, to find out what's been happening on paper.
Well, KB, Pearce is really dominating. He's had 3 kicks, 2-1 at this stage. Bradley's doing very well with 5 possessions. Interestingly, in the warm-up, Sheedy had Long, Cockatoo, Collins and Darren Buick out there on the ground with the Bombers doing the warm-up, Kevin.
So ball back in the centre. Madden got the knockout again, winning it easily at the moment. Good handball by Clapper to Rice, runs to 45, has a pot shot at goal. Oh, it's another one. Blues are on fire early at the G on the Dan Murphy scoreboard. Carlton 3-1-19, Essendon 1-2-8. And at the moment, Tony Shaw, Carlton are making Essendon look very slow.
Well, I said it before the game, this dominance, try to get it out of Fraser Brown, how they do it, but the dominance out of the centre, you know, Harry Madden, you look around and you think, how can a man like with his stature play football? He's just slow.
He's
and
rucking against Cransburg.
Yeah, well, that'll into the ruck, or, you know, just try and get some competitiveness in there, but he's just dominating out of the centre at the moment, Carlton. That's showing on the scoreboard.
And Madden wins another easy knockout down to Williams. He taps it in front of him now. It's kicked off the ground by Denham. Back to the members' wing. O'Donnell against Christou. Both overrun it. Kicked off the ground by Camporelli. Denham leading the race for the ball. Camporelli's in there. Well done by Denham. Taps it to O'Donnell. O'Donnell cleverly over the top to Cransburg. He spills the beans but recovers. Handballs back to Denham. Great tackle by Christou. The ball's on 50 for Carlton. For Essendon, I should say. Picked up by Bond for the Blues. Kicks it back to the members' wing. Harvey against Williams. Harvey can't mark. Taken there by Clappe. Under pressure. Handballs to Bradley. Bradley on the Koutafidis. 70 out. Running into goal. No one home for Essendon. Might bounce through. Touched on the line. Right on the line by Cummings. And through for one behind. Carlton 3-2-20. Essendon 1-2-8.
And Steve, Matt Clappe at this stage has had 4 tremendous handballs early on in the game.
Well, obviously, Sheedy wants Cransburg to run off Justin Madden, but maybe one of the big guys to take the centre bounce and then let Cransburg do all the running around, and maybe with his mobility worry Madden, like Rouge did up in Sydney. But from that kick out, we see the ball. It's inside the centre square. It stacks on the mill. Mackay gets the ball across here to Clappe, gives it back to Ratton, who Fraser Brown titles on Magic. Would be winning their best and fairest down there at Princes Park as Spalding goes short. On the lead is the skipper. Kernahan has marked 45 metres out. He's on a 45-degree angle from the members' side, and the Blues are kicking down towards the main scoreboard, and they've been very, very impressive in the first 11 minutes. So sticks Kernahan. He's topped the goal kicking in Carlton every year of his league career. A remarkable record, and the kick has been forced right and through for just a minor score. So the Blues move to 3-3-21. To Essendon's 1-8. That's on the Dan Murphy scoreboard. Here's Tony Shaw.
And just quickly, Essendon's already made a move. They've moved Scott Cummings away from Pearce, and Dustin Fletcher's gone on to him. But even then, you just saw that Alessio was too slow for Kernahan.
Well, Fletcher goes short to Hardwick, gives the ball back to Fletcher, who's got a chance to come back to Hardwick. So he drops the ball. He's still in the back pocket. Now comes away and goes short, looking for Harvey and finds him half-back flank. He's on defensive 50. So Harvey's now going to kick the ball back towards the edge of the centre square. It's one for the high flyers down there. The ball was punched to the ground by Young. Wild kick off the ground by Justin Madden. Was that kicking in danger? I see blood coming out of the nose there of Matthew Lloyd. So the ball once more kicked further afield by Ola Renshaw. Straight in the arms of Peter Dean. Wheels it around the corner. The bounce favours Bomber Thompson. So the skipper of the Essendon kicks the ball back. Looking here, going up high was Dean once more. Gets the fist to the ball and thumps it over the line. Centre wing position, member side.
Well, there's no doubt that one of Carlton's strengths, we talk about their much lauded midfield and forward line, but their half-back line, Dean, Christou and Dean, is certainly the jewel in their crown.
You're right, Sam. Dean hasn't had a possession at this stage, but 4 fantastic 1%.
Yeah, you're right, Cam.
Madden won the knockout. He was rucking against O'Donnell on that occasion. Quick kick up close to Essendon's forward line. Good play by Dean. Here's a chance for Wanganeen. He's tripped over. Christou's got caught high. Don't know what happened there. There's bodies everywhere at the moment. Picked up by Silvani at full back. He has a bounce. He's going to relieve the pressure. Has 2 bounces. Now runs to half back. The kick is a shocker to the outer wing. Leading the race for the ball is Clappe. He's up against Hardwick. Clappe picks it up. On the left boot back to half forward. Here's a chance for Harvey. He's got about 15 metres on his nearest opponent. Picks it up. Has time to steady. Not sure what to do with it. Good play by Kernahan. Harvey back to the outer wing. Clappe's there for Carlton. There's 3 Blues. Picked up by Koutafidis. Sells the dummy. Dispossessed. Ball goes over the line for a throw-in on the outer wing.
Terrible option there by Harvey. You know, kicking to, well, he had very little option, but it was a poor percentage option.
Ball thrown back in. It's Cummings against Spalding. Spalding got a shove in the back. Umpire set play on. Picked up there by Ratton. He's under pressure, has his kick smothered. Ball goes over the line again for another throw-in on the outer wing. It's Carlton 21, Essendon 8. We've gone 14 minutes in the first quarter.
Just another surprising move that Wanganeen has pushed up to the half-forward flank, and he started there, and he's on Troy Bond, who they're related, I believe. So, but Wanganeen's been best on ground twice, I think, in the last month in the back pocket, and now he's up forward.
So Williams grabs the ball on centre wing, gives it across here to Koutafidis, goes short and finds Kernahan on 50. So the Blues lead 21 to Essendon's 8. Kernahan right on 50. A long bomb, a drop punt right in the square. Is it going to be shepherded through? I think it has. It's a goal. Great play, Brad Pearce, who pushed Fletcher out of the way using his body, and Kernahan's popped through the Blues' 4th goal. So 4-3-27, the Bombers 1-8. Let's go to the count to find out what's been happening on paper.
Well, KB, certainly Pearce playing very well. 3 kicks, 2 goals, 1. But what about Matt Clappe? Only 1 kick but 5 handballs. Bradley's now 6 possessions for the Bombers. Well, Denham's had 3 touches. Certainly Michael Pryor's had 3. Not much else for the Bombers at this stage.
So the Blues by 19 points. Madden dominating in the ruck against Cransburg. That's a strange one. We see Bradley knocks the ball forward. A chance for Sporting. He can't take control. Now he does. Knocks the ball on. Was he held? Goes out to Camporelli. Feeds it out to Rice. He's on 50. It won't bend this one back. And the ball is through for 1 behind. So 4-4-28, the Blues. Essendon 1-2-8. Let's go around the grounds. Here's Craig Hutchison at Waverley.
David Mitch's second goal takes Geelong out to a 12-point lead, 3-2-20 to 1-2-8. We've played 15 minutes. Fill it off this over.
We've played 16 minutes and Fitzroy lead by 11 points. They're 4-1-25 with 2-14. Barry Randall, Footscray.
Yes, thanks, Phil. We've played 16 minutes here. Sensational start for the Saints. Peter Everett with 4 goals. Stewie Lowe with 2. John Moralising, Footscray. 6-1-37. Footscray 2 points. Back to the MCG.
Calthorpe's got the ball in the back pocket for Essendon. Now runs it to the other back pocket. That's the member side. Gives it to Pryor. His kick on the left boot is a shocker. Chipping in is Camporelli. Trying to control the ball. Thompson throws himself on the footy. Picked up by Ratton. Gives the handball to Sporting. Someone was caught high. I think it's gone against Grenville. It's going to Ratton. Ratton on the members' wing. Goes short to Camporelli, who's free at half forward. Now drop punts the ball looking for Pearce, but there's 2 Bombers there. Going up one-handed was Hardwick. Should have done better. Pearce picked up the ball. Good tackle. Umpire calls play on. Calthorpe's there. He drops it. Picked up by Fletcher. Does well. Handballs to Ola Renshaw in the back pocket. Kicks the ball back to the half-back line members' side. O'Donnell against Rice. O'Donnell's happy to see the ball go over the line for a throw-in. Carlton 4-4-28. Essendon 1-2-8. We've gone 16 and a half minutes in the first quarter, and Somerville doing some warm-ups on the boundary line. That is a very good sign for Essendon. Perhaps it's not as serious as first feared. Went off with a bit of a knee problem. Ball thrown back in. It's O'Donnell in the ruck against Madden. In fact, in the end, no one goes up against Madden, who won it easily. Taps it to Christou, looking for Pearce, can't take the mark. Alessio, good backing up. Now grabs the footy in the defensive 50. Has a bounce back to the outer wing, but chipping in brilliantly is Koutafidis to intercept. Koutafidis thumps the ball back to the forward pocket, looking for Kernahan, but the kick's astray, and it's gone over the line for a throw-in about 40 metres out from the Blues goal, outer side.
Now we've played 17 minutes, Tony Shaw, and we've still got Cransburg trying to win the centre tap.
Yeah, look, I don't know what Sheeds is trying to do here, but also you've got a bloke like Gary O'Donnell on the half-forward flank, and at the moment they're getting killed out of the centre and he's a possession winner. He should be pushed on the ball straight away.
So Cransburg picks the ball up on the half-back flank, gives it across to Hardwick, so the Bombers out of trouble. Kicks a long ball back towards the wing on the outer side of the ground. Off hands taken by Mackay, and rockets the ball across to Madden. Back to Ratton. The ball just didn't hit Mackay on the full, puts him under pressure. Denham does well, beats him, gives it across to Wanganeen, onto the left boot. Ball trickles down to Hurd, comes out. Great tackle, Silvani. The ball spills clean. Here's a chance. Wanganeen's on 50. Just pops the ball up in front of Salmon. Can't get there. Good play by Bond, and he thumps the ball back over the line for a boundary throw-in. So 50 metres around from the Bombers' goal. On the members' side, they're kicking down towards the punt road end, but the Blues lead 4-4-28. The Bombers 1-2-8 in the ruck. Madden pushed out, not played by the umpire. Ball comes to O'Donnell, gives it across to Hurd. He's looking for Cransburg. The ball carries too far. Picked up by Koutafidis. Gives the ball back to Christou. He's got plenty of support. Across here to Whitehead, onto the left boot, up towards Kernahan. Wonderful play, Blues. Smack bang into the centre of the ground. The skipper kicks the ball out wide. He's got to lose players looking for Pearce. Good thump away this time by Fletcher. At ground level, a wild kick there. Was that a free kick to O'Donnell? Picked up by the Diesel. Puts one along terra firma. Here's a chance for Rice. He's been well tackled. Good play, James Hurd. The Bombers seem to have everyone back in defence now. You're listening to the Mitre 10 big game on Magic. Here's Quarters.
Hurd handballs to Cransburg, kicks it back to within 50 for the Bombers. Coming through there is Salmon, taps it to Wanganeen, has a shot at goal, put it through. No, it's a point, but he's got a free kick for in the back. He's got a free kick for in the back, and that was a correct decision by the umpire, no doubt about that. So Gavin Wanganeen missed the shot, but he's going to go back and have a shot at goal about 20 metres out, almost directly in front.
Great tap by Salmon.
Yeah, brilliant.
Just getting the ball across to him. What's been the stats so far? for the on-ballers there.
Matt Clapper's had 7 possessions. Bradley's had 6. Moving down to Williams, he's had 3 touches. Over to the Bombers, Denon has had 4 possessions. Certainly prior for KB.
And O'Donnell?
Gary O'Donnell, 2 kicks and 2 handballs.
Gavin Wanganeen directly in front of goal. Has missed it.
That's 2 bad misses now. One by Peter Sumwell from 7 metres out, and I dare say that was just as close, Shorey.
Oh, look, it's unacceptable, especially with the scoreboard. You're 3 goals down, you know. From what was that, 15, 20 yards out, you just got to kick those goals and make the opposition pay.
And Paul Salmon, I don't know what he's doing, but he's gesticulating out there like no one's business. He's going crooked all his Essendon teammates. I think he's trying to tell them to get out and stop crowding the forward line. The ball's kicked back to the members' wing. Taken by Whitehead. He's tackled by Denham. Umpire calls play on. Players dive on top of the footy. It's a ball up, half forward line, members' side. Essendon into attack. They trail 9 points to Carlton's 28, and we've gone 20.5 minutes in the first quarter.
Well, we've got Fletcher playing on Brad Pearce. Alessio's picking up Stephen Kernahan at centre-half back. And Madden just dominates the ruck once more. This time it's been sharked by O'Donnell. Great tackle by Camporelli. The ball comes out to Christou. Can't get his foot to the ball. Good play by Pride. Back out to Denham. So it's tight in close, and a free kick's being paid. And it's being brought back, and it goes to Michael Pryor. So the Bombers on the edge of the centre square. The Blues are 4-4-28. Essendon 1-3-9. We've played 21 minutes into this first quarter. Tremendous crowd. Packed house here at the MCG. He's looking for Salmon and finds him. Terrific lead straight up the centre. Salmon's mark. He's directly in front, but he'll be kicking from right on 50. I don't think Essendon can actually win the flag without an informed Paul Salmon. He just adds another dimension to their side.
Agree with you totally, KB.
Very important player. I think we saw it last week against the Bears. He kicked a couple of quick goals there, Kekker, but once he went off the field, they struggled as we see Salmon moves in right on 50. The fish, as he got underneath it, the distance. He's popped it through. So Essendon hit back at the Blues, 2-3-15. Carlton 4-4-28. Let's go around the grounds. Here's Craig Hutchison at Waverley.
The Cats are humming along here at Waverley. They lead 5-3-33 to Hawthorn 1-2-8. We played 21 minutes. Fill it off the Oval.
North Melbourne lead by 3 points at the 22-minute mark. 5-4-34. Fitzroy are 5-1-31. Barry Randall, Footscray.
Thanks, Phil. Yes, we've played 22 minutes in the first quarter. St Kilda leading by 39 points. 7-1-43. Footscray 4 solitary points. Back to the MCG.
Cransburg won that knockout, but taken by Ratton, but picked it up by Bowman. Thompson kicks it back within 50. Hurds in front, takes a terrific mark in front of Silvani. This kid can play, and is this a 50? No, it's not, but James Hurd, he's not a big man by centre-half forward standards, but he's just a fantastic footballer. He's taken the mark 45 metres out of the slide.
And Steve, he's had 7 possessions at this stage and also moved out of the back line.
Exactly, Count. I'll tell you what, very lucky not to have got a 50-metre penalty there. It was severely dealt with after the play.
James Hurd coming in for goal. He's kicked 47 for the season. And this one, I think, is just offline to the right, it is, and through for 1 behind. So on the Dan Murphy scoreboard, it's Carlton 4-4-28, but the Bombers have certainly steadied the ship. They're 2-4-16. We've gone 23 minutes in the first quarter.
Well, they have steadied, but Madden's been absolutely dominant in midfield. And of course, Bond's doing very well on Wanganeen. Wanganeen not the dominant player. I'll just elaborate on that after this passage of play.
Balls at half forward for Essendon, taken by Grenbold. Handballs back to Hardwick. He settles the ball, looking for Denham and finds him. He plays on, looking for Danaher. Good play by Ratton. He gets the ball, kicks it back into the middle of the ground. Mark taken by Mark Harvey. Harvey's got some options. He goes short to Gary O'Donnell, the true centre-half forward position. He's just play on by the umpire. Now O'Donnell from 55, a long bomb. Here's a chance for the Bombers. The big fly by Lloyd couldn't take the mark. It hits the behind post, and it's going to be a throw-in right next to the behind post. Essendon deep into attack. They trail by a couple of goals, almost nearing the 24-minute mark of the first quarter.
So this boundary throw-in gives the Bombers a chance. Never underestimate Essendon. They just keep coming back all the time. Here's a chance for Peter Dean. Crashes his way through, gives it across the Ratton. Caught by Wanganeen. The ball with Bradley, and he just happily just handballs it through for a point. Under pressure. You always get the feeling with Essendon that they'll just keep coming at you all the time. Carlton burst out of the blocks, playing the better footy. But we look at the scoreboard, 4-4-28 Carlton. Essendon 2-5-17. So 8 scoring shots to 7 as we see Bradley kicking the ball back into play, and he's found his teammate in Peter Dean, who kicks the ball out wide, so he's got a loose player out there, but great play. coming in very, very strongly was young Lloyd. Knocks the ball away. Camperelli's been bowled over there by Young, but recovers well. He's on the half-back flank. The recruit of the year may be. Goes short, and he finds his teammate out there in Matt Clappo. Right on the edge of the centre square. Now runs forward flank. Dean Rice is his opponent. Out there, punched away by Thompson at ground level. Good play here by the Blues. It was Whitehead. Got it back to Rice, but here's a chance. Oh, great ducking and weaving by Ola Renshaw. Cups one high and will take the free kick. Now it's going to actually come back because the umpires indicated that we'll see Bomber Thompson will actually take the free kick from a push from Dean Rice. Goes short and finds Ola Renshaw. Good to see him back in the Bombers' side. Goes short with those beautiful skills and finds Cransberg. Good 75 metres out from Essendon's goal. Salmon's on a lead. He pops it up. It's in the air. Big pack of players. It's that mark to Barry Young, not paid. Here's a chance. Wanganeen on the burst. Quick snap. Just missed. Through for a point. So Essendon all of a sudden just lifting their rating. 4-4-28 Carlton. The Bombers 2-6-18. Here's Kekker.
And Grenville's off with a what appears to be a leg injury, and Doolan's on.
Christo's taken the mark for the kick out, kicks the ball back to the outer wing where a great one-hand has been taken by Koutafidis. Plays him straight away. Gives out the handball to Bradley. Bradley chips it short to Kernahan, who marks on a 45-degree angle, 45 metres out from goal.
Just amazing sight on the Carlton kickouts, and Essendon pulled their zone back. Nearly everybody's outside the 50 zone.
Yeah, they're conceding the short kick, and then I guess Essendon's gamble is they're going to get it for the second long kick out.
And get it back in open space.
Yeah, that's what Salmon was suggesting to his players, to get back and to form a barrier across midfield. Virtually had the numbers back on the second kick.
The kick by Kernahan is one behind, was way offline. Carlton 29 points, Essendon 18. Thompson brings the ball back into play for the Bombers, and it's been marked on the outer side by Fletcher. Still in the defensive 50, goes short to Denham. Now he plays on handballs back to Fletcher, runs it over the 50-metre defensive line, kicks a long ball back to the outer wing, but it's a poor option. No, it's a free kick off the ball here. It's going back and it's going to Essendon.
What's the free kick going down?
Illegal shepherd perhaps. Barry Young's got the ball. Kicks it right in the middle of the MCG where it's marked by Harvey. Harvey now to Salmon. Great lead, great pass. Salmon's marked directly in front, 45 metres out.
Something good football, wasn't it?
Sam, to answer the free kicks,
yes.
The Bombers have had 6-2, the Blues 3.
Yes, it just appears that way. They're getting a good, not that I'm saying that they weren't there, but just how a pattern does emerge early. The Bombers certainly on the receiving end. I'm not saying that they weren't there. The umpire's doing quite a good job. It's a very quick game.
Paul Salmon, he's kicked one already. Going to be kicking 45 out. Kicks on its way, and he's hooked it badly. Very badly. It's out on the full free kick to the Blues in the back pocket.
Far too close to the
man. Yeah, the execution was terrible, Kevin. You're right. You picked it. He was all over the place like a drunken sailor. He wobbled in his approach and just takes too many strides. I think he thinks about it far too long.
Silvani brings the ball back into play. A great mark taken by a man I think is going to be a superstar of the 90s, and that's Lloyd. Matthew Lloyd. He can play the game, even though he's still just a teenager, just 17 years old. Lloyd now centres the ball, looking for her, pushed out of the contest. Has to be a free kick against Silvani. Play on, says the umpire. Picked up by Cransberg. Bang, open goal. And the Bombers looking good now. They looked a bit suspect early, but they fought back beautifully. On the Dan Murphy scoreboard, Carlton 4-5-29, Essendon 3-6-24. Round the grounds, Craig Hutchison to play.
Yeah, much needed goal to Jason Dunstall because the Hawks are 31 points behind. Geelong 7-3-45, Hawthorn 2-2-14. We're nearly at quarter time here at Waverley Park. Philip Optus over.
We've played 29 minutes into the first quarter and North Melbourne lead by 12 points there. 7-7-49, Fitzroy are 6-1-37. Harry Round at Footscray.
Yes, Phil, 28 minutes gone in the first quarter. Footscray yet to kick a goal there. 6 straight points, trailing St Kilda 7-1-43. Back to the MCG.
So Ratton gets a short kick, trying to crash his way through down there is Ben Doolan. Kicks the ball back towards centre half forward. He was looking for O'Donnell. The ball ricochets back. Chance here now for the Carlton. And there's a free kick. Ball's being brought back. Silvani's got it. Comes away from the half-back flank. Kicks the ball out wide. Claplay's his target out there. Good punch away here by Essendon. That was Hardwick. So it's at ground level. Denham against Bradley. Two great players, but Bradley wins out onto the left boot. Kicks back towards the half-forward line. Out comes Sticks Kernahan. But the ball trickles over. Right in front of the Penfold motor sign on the other side of the ground. And we've got a boundary throw in. So we've played just on 29.5 minutes in this opening term. Mitre 10 big game on Magic 6-9-3, and the Blues lead 4-5-29, the Bombers 3-6-24. From the boundary throw, we see Sporting there just using a bit of weight. Once more we've got a ball up. good 70 metres out from Carlton's goal.
This audio was from the archive of Rhett Bartlett.